You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. My name is Joyce DeRiga, and I'm the editor for the Chicago Catholic, the newspaper of the Archdiocese of Chicago. And this is where we go beyond the headlines and talk to the people who are making the news in the latest issues of the Chicago Catholic. And today our special guest is Father Mike Bradley, who we're pre-recording this, but 2 days ago he ran his 50th marathon, and he did it in the Chicago Marathon. So welcome, Father.
Thank you, Joyce. Good to be with you.
So how'd it go? It was a good day for it. It was cool temperatures and sun.
Yeah, it was an ideal day, and that's why. There a number of records were set for the 2023 Chicago Marathon. So it felt like such a great honor just to be one of the 47,000 runners.
How does it feel now that you've done 50? Are you going to do more?
I have to pinch myself. I'm surprised that I've reached that. I don't know how I got there to 50, but one step at a time.
100%. And then you dedicated it to Bishop Kevin Birmingham. Did you want to talk about that and how you knew him?
Yeah. Of course, it's such a sad time. And I thought, well, one little way I could honor his memory was to dedicate the run to him. And of course, as you know, he died on Monday, October 2nd, and I've known him since he was a freshman in high school at Quigley Seminary South, and I had the good fortune to be his guidance counselor, and also was from a neighboring parish to where he was living, where he grew up, and so I did get to know Bishop Kevin, and what an honor to. How many people can say they worked with a future bishop? So
in high school,
he was very, very polite, holy kind of young man, and just a joy to work with. And he had his humorous side.
Yes, he did.
Oh, I mean, every day he was teasing his classmates. He was, but in a real nice way, and well liked, of course. And he really came into his own as a priest, a pastor, and then the secretary to the Cardinal Supich, and since 2020, as you know, as auxiliary bishop. And I always referred to him as Your Grace. Since ordination, and or Bishop Kevin, and so it's a huge loss, and I have my own little story about dedicating the run to him. I haven't run a marathon since 2020, and had a number of medical issues, and. One of those issues was that I had damaged the nerve endings of my toes, one foot, and it was very painful. I had physical therapy. Okay, so I started running again in June of this year. I felt great. I ran this past week. Everything went well, and then Saturday evening, the right before the run, the pain returned. And it was so rough, I wondered, how am I even going to get to the starting line, let alone get to the finish line? And so I decided, okay, Bishop Kevin, I need divine intervention. I know you had your funeral just today, and I'm sorry I didn't go to the funeral. I had something else going on, but and it was his birthday Saturday, would have been his 52nd birthday, and I said, Kevin, I need divine intervention. I'm counting on you. I don't know where else to turn. Oh. And I had gone to bed at 8:00 Saturday night in anticipation of the run on Sunday. And woke up at midnight, and I had a message from God in my little head saying, don't you realize this is not about you? This is about my people, God's people, and never forget that. Well, I woke up again at 3 o'clock to have breakfast and get ready for the run, and my foot was healed.
Wow.
My foot was fine. So I don't know if Kevin needs a miracle or this counts as a miracle. For me, it was a miracle, and ran the 26.2 miles, and I felt really good.
Praise Jesus. Bishop Kevin's already working.
Yeah, I figure. Well, he's just getting around heaven. He's got a lot of people to see, and like you say, praise God, Joyce.
So part of what that thing you had going on Saturday, so we couldn't go to the funeral, was a rally, right? A rally and a fun run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a fun run around St. Gertude. Father Mike Gabriel, the pastor, organized a great event. And even senior citizens and people don't walk much could walk around the block and count that as their marathon. And a nice 3K fun run. Young people, older people. It was great, and then the pep rally was very uplifting.
And you tell people about the charities that you run for at the church.
Yeah, we have out of St. Gertrude, the headquarters.
Wait, can you?
Sorry for the noise.
That's okay.
Sorry. But it's an organization called Heart to Heart. It's been around at St. Gertrude for some time. It's an outreach to the senior citizens and the shut-ins of the neighborhood. We have quite a few elderly living in apartments, and as you can imagine, in the time of the lockdown, they were very isolated.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Heart to Heart kept in touch with them, and to this day, Heart to Heart provides services, rides to the grocery, to the doctor, to church, and also friendly visits from a very good core group of volunteers. Sister Susan Quaintance is the director of Heart to Heart, and assisted by Lori Hasbrook. And they are really heroic in the Edgewater community. They reach out to people regardless of their religion, or they have no religion, and also provides a lending closet of durable medical equipment that people have the opportunity to use. So it's a wonderful ministry to the community.
How much did you raise this year?
I'm afraid I don't know.
Well, they're probably still coming in. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what it's at right now. Last I heard was last week, so I'm sure it increased quite a bit since then. I was really blessed in 2020. I did a do-it-yourself marathon at various around the neighborhood, various locations. Parishioners were stationed and cheering me on. And at that time, we raised $24,000. And in this difficult economy, I doubt we'll get there, but people give generously, and family and friends. And I'm very grateful.
If you're watching this on YouTube, Mike is showing us the story we did about Father's Do-It-Yourself Marathon. So the basis, the Chicago, because of the pandemic, the marathon was canceled. So Father made his own route, and you did 4 laps of 6 miles around the parish, and
6.5 something. I forget exactly, but it came out to 26.2 miles, and I'll never forget it. I started it on would have been the day of the regular Chicago Marathon, the one that was canceled. I showed up on the steps of church as scheduled at 6 a.m. It was dark. I had to wear a headlamp. I thought, okay, there's going to be nobody here. There was a crowd of people. including parishioners and senior citizens from the neighborhood, and there to get me started. I'll never forget it. And then all along the route, people came out. Some families came out in their pajamas and with signs greeting me, cheering me on, and it's a great way to get to know the neighborhoods of the parish.
And you always wear, when you're running, you always wear a shirt that says Father Mike. Can you tell people?
Yes.
I mean, I ran, I don't run presently, but I ran a lot of races too, and I know what that means. But can you share with people why you do that?
Well, it's nice to have people call you by name, and they can see the name on the jersey, and well, sometimes when they say it's Father Mike, they're surprised, and but the I'd say this time, the 2023 marathon, the crowds were even more enthusiastic and supportive than I ever remember them being, and just a great, wonderful support. One of the things I'll also remember is a number of people this time, they must have seen the TV report, and they were aware of it being my 50th. And right around maybe mile 20, which was kind of a tough time in the run, a gentleman called out, "Father, I need divine intervention." Well, I stopped in my tracks. That is what I prayed to Bishop Kevin. I said, I need divine intervention. So I circled back and just gave the gentleman a real quick blessing and was on my way. But I thought, oh my goodness, what a confirmation that this was a marathon for to honor God and God's people. And many people, offered very encouraging words. And at the very end, when I was retrieving my gear bag at the gear check, there was a whole group of young people who had been volunteering there all day. I mean, this was toward the end of the day, and they must have cleared, hundreds of people's bags. But they said, "How did it feel to run your 50th marathon?" And I said, "Well, it just feels wonderful. It feels great." And one of the young people said, "Well, bless you, Father." And that made it all worthwhile. And also knowing along the route, there were a number of parishioners who were stationed at various locations, and they made it a point to wait until I came along. I started in the very last group, corral, 47,000 runners, and the A people, the elite runners, they start first, of course, and I was in the N group. The N, I told people, it means not fast, not fast. So anyhow, they had to wait a while till I would get to the various locations, but they were very patient and supportive.
That's wonderful. We have to take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll talk more about your running career and all of that. So stay tuned.
Thank you, Joyce.
You're welcome, Father.
Community is core to Catholic Charities' founding mission. For more than 100 years, we have met people and families where they are, serving anyone in need, regardless of their faith, gender, race, or ethnicity. As our world absorbs the economic, political, and social aftershocks of the pandemic, 50% or more of the 6 million people living in Cook and Lake counties have little or no savings. They are a paycheck away from zero. We are deeply grateful to everyone in the Catholic Charities community who partners with us to alleviate the suffering of the people we serve and offer them a better path forward. We are witnessing a message of mercy and hope to a world very much in need. Learn more at CatholicCharities.net.
People always say, how can you spend your day with 3-year-olds? Seeing the changes that they go through and just the journey and how they grow, this is a very rewarding job. Even though at the end of the day, we're not the highest paid people on earth. And when I have a parent contact me and say, my child loves school, that to me, I'm setting that foundation for their love of learning. Because really, you are changing lives, you are molding lives.
Shape the next generation of leaders. Teach. Apply today at archchicago.org/schooljobs.
Do you have an old bicycle that's not being used? Consider donating it to Catholic Charities Veterans Bike Project of Lake County. Skilled volunteers are refurbishing bicycles to make them safe and ready to be used by veterans to get to and from their new places of work. We also gratefully accept financial contributions that are used to purchase bike helmets and other safety accessories. Our veterans have faithfully served the United States, and now it is our privilege to serve them. For more information on the Veterans Bike Project of Lake County, call 847-782-4219. That's 847-782-4219.
For me, running means an opportunity to be alone with my thoughts and prayers. It's an opportunity to clear my head a bit, and also a chance to see parts of the parish, the streets, the neighborhoods that I might not be familiar with. I ran my first marathon in 1995, totally without preparation, without proper equipment. But I just got into it, enjoyed it, and here I am. When I run in the Chicago Marathon, a number of parishioners do go down and meet me at various mile stops along the way and jump in and run for a while with me, and that's a great thing. But to have it in the community here where people can just leave their home and come out on the sidewalk and see me run by and offer a cheer, it's exciting for me. It's so supportive. It is very powerful. You know, I just feel so blessed by the people, and it's a great motivator. Yay! I wear on my jersey Father Mike. And so people, even who don't know me, along the way, spectators cheer me on, go Father Mike, etc. And so when some people realize that this guy running with them or near them is a priest, they want to talk. And a few times they pulled me aside and said, can I go to confession? And I said, well, as long as it's not very long, as I don't want to have to make up the time. I don't want to lose time.
Please click on the Archdiocese of Chicago Shield to subscribe to our...
So welcome back. That's the video that our radio and television ministry did about Father Mike, with his Do It Himself marathon a couple years ago. So that was a great video and we did a story. You can find our story on ChicagoCatholic.com. And I like that you mentioned the confessions thing, because I was going to bring that up, and that people stop and ask you. Can you tell people what you do, like about the rosary and then the prayer list that you keep with you when you run your marathon?
Well, this time I was able to offer 4 rosaries, and at about mile 16 is when I got to the sorrowful mysteries, and that was very appropriate, I think. As that was a little painful at that moment, but being able to pray helps me focus, and I'm praying for the people that have entrusted to me their intentions, and people share their needs, the needs of their family, and there were so many this time that I wrote them down. Wrote down a name, wrote maybe a little drawing to remind me of what they were asking for, and I wrapped it in plastic because I knew it was going to get real sweaty, and attached it to my arm, and would often take a look at it, and it's a great motivator to think of the names and the issues and the struggles that people are having, and to know that they're with me on the run. It's a great experience to have that.
So you've done a lot of. You're retired now, so technically,
Yes.
priests don't really retire, but they, because obviously it's a lifelong vocation. But you spent a lot of your ministry working. You're a canon lawyer and working with the Archdiocese Tribunal and all that stuff. And you're at a Canon Law Society conference right now. So, what now that you're not downtown all the time, what have you been doing? I know you've been. Like I said, I talked to one of your friends and admirers, Father Dom Grassi, and he was sharing some of that stuff. So you can tell me what you're up to now, because you're not
he didn't
being
tell
idle.
all the stories.
Right.
He's a great storyteller, Father Dom Grassi.
He is
one of my heroes, and someone I used to go running with back when we were together on the faculty at Quigley Seminary South.
I didn't know that.
And lots of memories. I've enjoyed the canonical work that I did, and in retirement now, I help out occasionally at St. Gertude with masses and confessions and an occasional wedding and funeral. And also, I'm very blessed to be at the O'Hare in Midway airport chapels for masses. And I really enjoy that experience. It's a wonderful ministry. If you're not aware, Chicago's Archdiocese is blessed to have a chapel at O'Hare and a chapel at Midway. And you meet people from all over the country, all over the world, and also people who are kind of the regular parishioners, TSA people, employees, pilots, flight attendants, all sorts of people who work at the airports. And it's a real joy.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. We've done it. I mean, I've been here a long time, so we've done a lot of stories. But that's one of my many favorite ministries that we have. I don't think people always know that a lot of airports have chapels, and you can go to mass. Like sometimes I've heard it at Midway that they'll announce when mass is going to be held,
Yes.
so that you can come. But folks should definitely see if you can get at Midway. It's easy because it's all one big terminal, but O'Hare's it's in a different terminal, so you have to go.
Yes.
But they're both beautiful ministries. So I was happy to hear that you were serving out there. So, what are your other hobbies, by the way? I know we just focus on you whenever we're doing tribunal stuff and then the running, but what else keeps you busy?
Well, I try to keep up with my nieces and nephews. I have 5 nieces and nephews, and now a new great niece named Vivian, just born a couple of weeks ago. I enjoy hiking, and I've done some mountain climbing out in Colorado where family live. And I also enjoy bicycling and swimming. And I was swimming in Lake Michigan just up until a couple of weeks ago. It's what they call cross training, would be some biking or interval training and swimming that helps save the legs.
Amen to that. And it's been a big part of your ministry. Then I think it's a positive thing to see. I'm so glad that we got the coverage in. You were featured in Runner's World, which was a story and a video, which was really nice. And then
it's an amazing thing. I mean, Runner's World and the interviewers, they've talked to the best runners in the world. And I said to them, I can't believe you're talking to me. It's kind of like being invited to the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and I can play the kazoo. It's a great feeling.
Well, it was a wonderful, and I heard through the grapevine that they were delighted to meet you, and they thought you were wonderful, and they thought all the people at St. Gertrude were so welcoming and hospitable. So, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to see, a priest in a secular publication and it might inspire people, and inspire other ministers, but, just make any Catholic reading it maybe proud too. So I was excited to see that.
One little story more from this past Sunday. At about mile 14, I think it was, or 15, there was a lady right next to me, behind me a little bit, and I don't know what was wrong, but she was on her phone. And a lot of people carry their phones. I don't, but she was on the phone with somebody, and I have to tell you, she was swearing up a storm. I mean, she was really using some pretty bad words. And suddenly she looked over and she saw me, and she said to the person on the phone, "Oh my God, it's the priest from TV. I gotta go." And so then we joked and laughed a bit. So I don't know, maybe she'll clean up her language.
Well, this is wonderful, Father. I'm so glad you could come on and making the time, especially since you're in the middle of a conference in Milwaukee. But this was a joy for us. And just a shout out to folks who are listening or watching this on YouTube. Follow us go to ChicagoCatholic.com. Check out the latest news, what Cardinal Soup. It's a lot of synod stuff right now. You can sign up for our free newsletter. You can sign up for a subscription. We're $30 a year. And find out all the good news going on in the Archdiocese. So again, Father Mike, thank you so much, and maybe we'll get back to you on your 51st if you do it. If not,
Okay.
50 is a good,
Thank you, Joyce.
good milestone. You're welcome.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thanks, Father.